The college football experience, Temple Owls 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with our promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey, this is LeGarrette Blunt, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Temple Owls 2025 season preview episode. Oh boy. New times in Philly. Temple Owls, a program that obviously you don't have to look that far back. 2019. You know what's crazy, man, is from 2014 to 2019, they were a bowling team every single year, bowl eligible every single year. And really, if you look back, if you take it back even further to 2009, when they hired Al Golden and he was in year 3, 9 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins. Okay, 4. Then Matt Rule comes in. He does the Rule thing year 1. He's terrible. Then 6, then 10, then 10, then 7, then 8, then 8. They got to get back there. They should be back there because they are Philly's team. Can't wait to talk about it. Remember, folks, we're breaking down all 136 teams in the land. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget, subscribe on podcast platform as well, because I interviewed Gloria Navarez, the Mountain West commissioner, a bunch of coaches, almost every Mountain West coach. Those episodes are coming out. We didn't do video, so those are all on the audio side. And there will be even more because I'm going to ACC Media Days over the next 3 days. So hop on over there, do that. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Let's go. Let's go, Temple. Let's get our shit together. Bruce Arians once coached here.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles. Hey, I mean, look, the Redskins, the Washington Redskins, I know the Eagle fans, they play at the Eagles, but the Redskins had a lot of greats. Trey Johnson, Leslie Shepard, Todd Bowles, all coming from Temple. I'm probably forgetting a few, too. They had a pipeline at one point. Remember Paul Palmer, just nasty running back for the Owls? Oh, yeah. Let's go. Henry Burris. Remember Henry Burris? I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience. And when the season tips over there, we go live every single night of the season talking college hoops. And we do the same for football. So subscribe. Give it up for Farmer Stafford, Austin P with the Governors. At South Carolina with the Gamecocks. And at West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Monalan Mac. How are you, brother?
What's up, man? Yes, the city of brotherly love, a new era. Welcome, Coach Keeler. Let's go.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Yeah, let's just start right there because I'm just going to go ahead and say this.
Home run higher.
I think you can make the case. This was the best hire in the offseason. And I'll start the slideshow right now. So hop on over to youtube.com. I host the FCS College Football Experience. And if you know FCS football, you know that Casey Keeler is a fucking beast of a coach. I woke up now. At the time, I remember he was at Delaware, but when I woke up to this news that he took the Temple job and left Sam Houston State, I go, whoa, I didn't even think that they could pull that off, to tell you the truth. And that's not a shot at Temple. It was just, I thought he had built that thing up, won a national championship at Sam Houston State, and came right in and won 9 games last season. And I thought a Power 5 job might have, been calling for Casey Keeler. So taking him and getting him, retaining him, which I didn't know at the time, though. I mean, I knew he was at Delaware for a while, but I didn't know he's plugged in. He's at home. This is his dream job where he can retire, because that's where he's from. He's plugged into all these high schools there, which makes it even more of a slam dunk. But he is 271 and 112. And you might look back, you see his last 4 years on the screen. I gotta comment on that, because 11-1 in 2021. The year prior, he won the Natty. In 2022, they were 5-4, but they redshirted their entire team because they were jumping to the FBS in 23, where he went 3-9 in 23 with Sam Houston State. But if you look into that, if you look under the hood with that, they lost about they were much better than 3-9. To give you a perfect idea, they went at BYU, first ever game in the FBS, and lost 14-0. This thing was a 7-0 game with Sam Houston on the BYU 10-yard line. Right? I mean, they lose to Jacksonville State and Rich Rod in overtime by 7. Liberty, who went to the Fiesta Bowl, they were inside Liberty's 10-yard line and couldn't get it in, lost by 5. FIU double overtime loss. UTEP 3-point loss. Western Kentucky 5-point loss. So that team was way better, which is one of the reasons I locked up the over last year. And he was not 7-6 last year, by the way. I forgot to add. He was 9-3 last season. I forgot to add that in. So my apologies. 9-3 last season in 2024. So disregard the 2024 part. Mac, this is a fucking home run hire. I like the staff he put together even more, but I think he's one of the best coaches in football. And shout out, I know I don't really know Brad Powers, but I was glad to see he put out his top 10 coaches list. And Casey Keeler, I think he had number 11. So he said just on my outside of the top 10, and I agree. I really agree. I think this dude's this is a home run fucking hire for Temple. Your thoughts?
Yeah. When we did our AAC coaches, I forget if we had him 1, 2, or 3. I remember he was in both our top 3s, if not two or 1. So I'd have to go back and watch that to put in perspective those 2 years, the transition years. He lost 39 games in all his years at Sam Houston. 13 of those were in the transition from the FCS to the FBS. So 1/3 of his games he lost, and he was there forever, were in that transition period. So 97-39 in his time there. Then he was 86-52 at Delaware as well. And he was dominant at Rowan before that, 88-21. So closing in on 300 wins. He's going to retire at Temple, it sounds like. Temple couldn't have done better than this. I mean, this is an A+ hire. Great hire.
And Casey Keeler. Wait, did I fuck this up? I think I might have fucked this up. That's what happens when you rush. But give me a second. He's inheriting Stan Drayton's Temple Owls, which were not the greatest, a season ago. So, hang on one second. I'm just going to put up.
While you're doing that, I actually was surprised that they actually won 3 games last year.
Well, Stan Drayton year 1 actually overachieved, in my opinion, even though they were a disaster. But look, so last season they were 121st in scoring offense, 82nd in pass offense, 126th in rush offense, and 125th in overall offense. There was 134 teams last year, so they were a bottom 10 offense. But he went out and he hired Tyler Walker, who was the offense coordinator at Montana State. Once again, I host the FCS College Football Experience. Montana State has been fire in this in the FCS. So I like this hire a lot, Mac. 125th. Remember that, because I'm just going to go ahead and say they're going to be better, but they retain their starting quarterback, Evan Simon, who started at Rutgers and Temple, 20 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Obviously not setting the world on fire there, but it's good to have some depth there. They also brought in kid that I am familiar with out of California, I believe Baldwin Hills, if memory serves me correct, or maybe it's Lawndale. Gevani McCoy, right? Gevani McCoy was at Oregon State last year, and he struggled at Oregon State last year. 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But previously, he won the Jerry Rice Award in the FCS, one that Cam Ward, I believe, also won as well. I'm gonna chalk it up to I'm not even gonna realize, Oregon State was a mess everywhere. So I'm not even gonna put faith in that's who he is. This is a guy that threw 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions at Idaho in the fucking Big Sky, which the Big Sky and the AAC, I know the AAC is better than the Big Sky, but not by that much. Big Sky is a really good FCS conference. Big Sky is better than the Conference USA. Put it like that. So Gevani McCoy, Evan Simon at the quarterback spots. I think that's a good situation. Oh, there's my graphics. I just fucked it up. Yeah. They do return 3 of 5 on the offensive line. They also bring back punter Dante Atten. That's about it. Evan Simon, McCoy, an experienced quarterback. So they have 2 quarterbacks. They did attack the portal, as you imagine, with the brand new head coach. Bringing in McCoy from Oregon State, Anthony Chickett from Robert Morris there, Bob Morris. Jay Ducker, highlight that one because he comes in from Sam Houston State. I am very familiar with Jay Ducker for the past couple of years. I believe at one point he was at Northern Illinois. That's a very good running back. I think he's going to start for them. Hunter Smith comes in from ULM. Johnny Martin from Stony Brook. And remember, coach's ties to Delaware because Jojo Bermudez coming in at the wide receiver spot from Delaware. Colin Chase from the Tommies of St. Thomas. Tight end Jake Woods from Cal Poly. Tight end Thomas Nance from Bethune Cookman. And then offensive lineman Nick Reeves from the Georgia Bulldogs. And CJ Van Buren from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Look, you know what I love, Mac, is he was deep sea fucking diving. What do we got there? Robert Morris, Stony Brook, St. Thomas, Cal Poly, Bethune Cookman, Arkansas, Pine Bluff. Woo! Watch though, it's gonna work. It's gonna fucking work. The offense is gonna be a lot better than 125th. I feel pretty confident in saying that. How about you?
Yes, because Keeler had a chance to compete against Tyler Walker's offenses at Montana State, and there's a reason he hired him. Like you said, his offenses were explosive. He's been there the last 4 or 5 years from Keeler's days at the FCS. So, yeah. Ducker, productive back at Sam Houston, started at Northern Illinois. He was a 1,000-yard rusher, then went to Memphis, didn't play as much. So, yeah, I think this offense will be just fine, man. I think it's going to take a couple games with the quarterback competition, I would imagine. But once they get it going, I think it'll be a solid unit.
I'm going to take a guess that McCoy gets the start. And a lot of that has to do with Montana State. They did Tommy Malott, who running the ball is a phase of the offense. And to me, McCoy will be used with his athleticism, which I think would be what I imagine. But it's nice to have 2 quarterbacks with a lot of college football starts at a high level. The defense. Brian Smith was hired. Now, this was not him last year, so don't confuse these stats. Some of these listeners, some of these viewers, they're like, Brian Smith wasn't. I know Brian Smith is at Rice last year. But and if we're gonna bring that up, not only was he at Rice, Brian Smith had the 7th best defense in the nation at Rice. He's hired. The motherfucker knows what he's doing, dude. This is a great hire with Brian. I love both coordinator hires. Look, I understand he's inheriting a gigantic project. They were 123rd in scoring defense, 30th in pass defense, but that's only because no teams passed because they knew they could run. They were a bottom 4 rush defense, 112th overall nationally. But Brian Smith, I think the guy can flat out coach. You're taking Rice where academics matter. It's very hard to get into Rice. And you had them as a top 10 defense in America. That's a great fucking hire, man. Great fucking hire. Now they return 1 guy, which is good.
You gotta get rid of that team.
Yeah, it's a corner. That's what you want. Ben Asuke is back. Now they went out in the portal and they added guys from Gannon University. Look, I understand Casey Keeler's a Delaware Blue Hen, Rich Gannon, Delaware Blue Hen. I don't know how the hell he found Charles Calhoun out of Gannon. Demerick Morris from Oklahoma State. This is a guy that actually started with the Cowboys, so I think that could actually be a nice fit. Aaron Beckwith from UMass, Jalen Stewart from UMass. That's Beckwith was on the D line, Stewart linebacking core. They open up with UMass, so I like that. Linebacker Ty Davis once again is Delaware ties coming through. Willie Love, a linebacker from Monmouth, coming in, and Javen Brown from Kentucky coming in. They also went to the secondary and they attacked the secondary. Dante Pollard from Samford in the FCS, Earl Culp from Purdue, the Boilermakers. Jalen Castleberry from Youngstown State. They keep a good program up there. The Penguins do. Avery Powell from Missouri State. Omar Ibrahim from Hampton, and safety Pooh Lawton from Slippery Rock. And then don't forget long snapper Isaiah Hasey from the JUCO ranks. Deep fucking sea diving. I'm gonna say the defense is better just because Brian Smith is a guy that knows what the hell he's doing.
A lot of ties here in this UMass Temple game. Brian Smith played 4 years at UMass in the late 90s, so that's where he's getting all these UMass guys from. He's an alum, man. He played there. He also was a hardball guy on the Michigan tree before taking the Rice job and really elevating that defense. So, yes, they will improve because Brian Smith is a proven solid defensive coordinator. And once again, Keeler knew what he was doing. Good hires on both sides of the football.
Great hires. Yeah, I'm buying in, man. I'm buying stock already. I was, buying stock the second he hired, or the second he signed that contract. Folks, want to let you know that you are listening to the College Football Experience, Temple Owls edition. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and look, Sports Gambling Podcast is back with their 32-team NFL preview series. Odds are, if you're a Temple fan, you're an Eagle fan. The podcast, Sports Gambling Podcast, my pals, my buddies, I've known them over 20 years. And, well, let's just say it's very pro Philadelphia Eagle. So you're going to want to check it out. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win $1,000 Circa future. We're also brought to you, speaking of Circa, we're brought to you by Circa. I was just there 72 hours ago. I was doing Jaeger bombs. All right. Look, Circa in downtown Las Vegas is incredible. If you haven't been, you need to go. All right. It's the world's greatest sports book, Circa Las Vegas. And guess what? They're hosting the world's biggest pro football contest, Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DGen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with the Sports Gambling Podcast guys, all right, at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st to August 23rd. Me and Mac, the College Football Experience, will also be there doing live shows regarding Week 0, Farmageddon, and a slew of other great games. Always a Hawaii game, getting Stanford at Hawaii, and a bunch of other. It's our first dose of football, so we're going to be loving it. Portland State, Tarleton State. I mean, hell, when's the last time you had a grand on Portland State? All right, come be a part of this thing. Neil Lomax days. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at the Circa with the promo code SGP15. The contests are open for everyone, too. Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com. Use our promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football, folks. So sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits there. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Love these hires. And I love Temple football. I truly have a place in my heart for Temple football. However, we must talk about the state of the program, Mac. And I think the program is looking sharp with the Casey Keeler hire and then his other assistants he's brought on. However, we also talk about stadium. And I have major issues with what they do. So Temple plays at the Link.
Yeah.
Which I am giving this around youtube.com/the college experience. 22 years young is the Link. They used to play at Veterans Stadium prior to that. But they used to have a stadium on campus, which they, for stupid reasons, got rid of. But look, the Link is 22 years young. I'm giving this a 3 of 10. Now, I love outdoor football, and that's great that that's there. Remember that Eagle playoff game with the Rams? Fantastic. Get football games out in the snow the way the game should be. But Temple's a private school, man. What is that? Can you Google the current enrollment of Temple? I think it's like, 6, 7, 8,000 if I had to bet. Maybe a little bit more, right?
33.
What? Is it really 33,000?
Yeah. Or 24 undergrad, 9 grad. So
yeah, damn, 24 is a lot more. Maybe I was confusing it with Rice. My apologies, Temple fans. There's too many owls in the AAC. But okay, that's a little bit more than I thought. Even if so, though, you are 30 minutes away from your campus when you play at the Link. So look, I'm going to show you some photos when Matt Rule had it popping, right? Look at that right there. He had the Link really popping. They were like top 25. Remember they hosted Notre Dame College Game Day was there.
Yeah, that was wild.
First off, I love the end zones and what you do here. The paint in the end zones, fire. Yeah, Sam, I think I must have mistaken it for Rice. It is a much bigger school than I realized. So like I said, my apologies. So they were rolling here. That gives me even more of an incentive to like, it makes it even worse when I know the enrollment's that big, Mac. You know what I mean? Like, cause I thought before I was like, man, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that Rice, enrollment, but it's not Rice. They're like a major university. Which makes it even worse, Mac, because this is the way I know Temple games to be majority of the time, unless they're not top 25. I have said this for years on this show, man, and I love Temple football. These games are so East. I'm an East Carolina grad, or not a grad, but an East Carolina guy. I didn't graduate, right? And we play at Temple. I watch a lot of Temple. This is a constant thing. It's an empty ass stadium, man.
Is that Friday night SMU game where they got the brakes beat off them?
I don't know, but this shit is everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at this shit. Look, it's one thing if you're doing this once it gets popping. It doesn't make sense to me why. First off, there is okay, I get it. You trashed a great stadium, which I have a photo of in a second in a second you'll see. Major fuck up. That happened in like 78 or something. I don't even remember. But you have an MLS stadium. I very rarely encourage someone to play at an MLS stadium. There are examples where I think it fits. Texas Southern there in Houston plays at their MLS stadium with Chris Dishman as head coach, by the way. I think this one actually fits, Mac. It's about 5 minutes. Look at the old stadium, by the way. It's such a fucking gem. I can't believe they tore that down.
Here's a link.
Unbelievable. They had a stadium. They have fans. They have an alumni much bigger than I thought, which makes it mean they should have. It makes even more sense to listen to Pick Dundee here. I'm just gonna show you a couple. Look at these fans, man. They want Temple to be good, man. Fucking Temple basketball, Temple football. They're good fans, man. Just give them a chance. They got a live ass owl. Where do you put the owl as far as creepiest fucking animals on planet Earth, though?
Oh yeah, it's up there. I mean, look at its fucking eyes.
I kind of love it, but I kind of like from a distance. They can't they almost like turn their head a full 360 there or 180? What am I talking about? You know what I mean? Like, can't they do a whole, like their necks go pretty fucking far around, which is kind of crazy. But they're beautiful. They're majestic, I think some would say. My point that I was trying to make before I stared into those eyes, is look at this MLS stadium. That is, first off, anything by water is cool as fuck. And Mac, this is actually closer to the link according to the GPS that I just ran. Now maybe you have to hop on a toll. I don't know. But why would you not play at a place that seats 18,000? It's an MLS stadium. This makes a lot more sense, even with the bigger enrollment. What am I missing? Why would they not play here? Now, keep it outdoors always, but why would you not do it? I'm just confused on like why you would do the link. What is the link seat? I'm guessing like 65,000.
65.
Yeah. You don't even your alumni, your current, you would need like everybody that's ever been to Temple that's on planet Earth to actually fill that thing up, right? So,
well, like what Roll did.
Yeah, and that was just, I mean, College Game Day was there. Like, that's so hard to do. I believe, and the same goes for stand-up, man. I've been doing stand-up for a long time. Sometimes, like, you get booked. I remember doing the House of Blues Anaheim, right? And I'm doing the House of Blues at Disney World, essentially, or Disneyland. And it was such a big venue, we couldn't bring in that big of a crowd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're awesome that we got the gig, but, you're looking at a gigantic venue, and we're just like, okay, it probably seats 500, and we're bringing in 39 people, right? It was kind of a dud, even though you're playing at a place with great sound and everything, which the link does have that. I remember I was just recently, I did a show in a basement of like a spot in Oakland, and it maybe sit like 15, 20 people, but it was an incredible comedy show. Like, you couldn't, like, to me, one of my favorite comedy shows I've done in my life, but it was awesome. And everyone there, I think, had that experience. This is what I'm talking about. It's like the club, going out to a club where they keep the line packed out on the outside. You get in and there's like 6 people inside. You're like, what the fuck? Right. There's something to be said about like a smaller, less is more. You know what I mean? Like, and I believe if they chose an MLS stadium like this, or something more comfortable for their base, I think that makes a lot more sense. Now, I think they should have a stadium on campus, but I understand it's in the city. It's hard to accomplish that, but this just makes so much more sense to me than the link. Am I a maniac for that thought?
I don't like the MLS option either. I do like the Lakeside though, because with Northwestern,
but just a stadium that's 18,000, because literally, you have to like.
I hate stadiums for college games to start with. It doesn't make sense. That's why the NFL is the NFL, and keep college and the NFL separate.
Well, you're never going to get, I mean, unless they build a stadium on campus, you're never going to get college though with Temple. They burn that bridge, I think. I don't know. Someone inform me if so at the Colby D on Twitter. But I'm saying, I do believe, like, if you can get, like, sometimes I'm watching those games at the link and they say the crowd number. Now, I don't know if that number's accurate or not, but they'll say, like, yeah, we got 6,000 people here. 6,000 at that MLS stadium will actually make it look decent. You know what I mean? Like,
6,000 at the link, not good.
That's what I'm saying. It makes it look so bad, man. It reminds me of when I did House of Blues Anaheim. You're just sitting there like, huh? Who's that sitting back there? Right? Like, I don't know. I give it a 3 of 10 because the link, I mean, look, the link is actually the NFL stadium situation is so fucking bad in the NFL that I actually think the link's like a top 5 or 6 stadium in the NFL. not to say, I mean, it's just so corporate. The NFL just does such a shitty job with their stadiums. What do you give this thing 1 to 10?
2. I mean, there's nobody there. And I hate the Eagles, so yeah, they get downgraded. 2. It sucks, man. Like you said, the rule thing was great, but that's an outlier. There's nobody ever.
And it wasn't even the rule thing his entire tenure.
Yeah.
You have to go to the time he was like ranked number like 12 in the nation or whatever it was.
Shit, there you know.
And they had Robbie Anderson, right? And the PJ Walker.
Oh, if you go back, I know who they're playing there. They're playing Penn State.
Oh, so those are Penn State fans.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can see the Penn State logo on the TV. I mean, that's why that thing's packed in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like you choose like I am not. Their old stadium's so great too. I am not saying they should like. I'm very rarely say they should play at a soccer stadium, but I actually think it's logical. First off, if the Google Maps is correct, which I believe it to be, it's actually closer to your stadium. That shit matters in college. When you're 7 whiskeys deep and you're like, I don't know, man, I go out to the fucking link. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like Georgetown playing at the Wizards arena. That shit's awful.
DB Cooper saying, what's worse, the link? Link is way better than the Death Star. Death Star is an abomination of fucking like football should not be played there. That's a place where you drop fucking ecstasy and listen to EDM or some shit. You know what I mean? Like that. The link is still a football stadium. It's just the NFL has been so ridiculous with their football stadiums. Even back in the days in the 90s when like the link and everything was being built, it's just it's like they want it's so deer in the cage. The stadiums have no personality. Whether it's, this goes back to like the Meadowlands in the 70s. Like they just had, they said, hey, you know what? We should start building a bunch of stadiums with zero personality, right? Now the Link's probably one of the ones with more personality now because that's how bad it's fucking got. Yeah. I don't know. It's but I think they should play there, Mac. I really do. Like I honestly
play here.
Yeah. Because it would the effect of making it packed buys it buys the average fan in. The fan that's grown up in Philly, because trust me, they haven't watched Temple football, right? They're gonna sit there and say, you know what, man, it seems pretty cool, man. All these fucking people are going over here to this game. Then you go to the game, and Casey Keeler's gonna put a winning product out. I know that.
You got the lake in the background,
It's just it makes more sense, man. It really makes more sense. Anywhere. Man. So yeah, that's my rating. Yeah, and the Death Star will get a 1, by the way. You can just write it. All right.
I can't wait to read the comments on that one.
That stadium is so fucking bad. We still might go. I would just buy it. I just went like right outside of it the other day. And obviously week 0. Have they announced a time on that Idaho State game? Because we might even go to that bullshit. Anyway, yeah. Folks, we're going to get to the schedule, but before we get to the schedule, I want to let you know that the College Football Experience Temple Owl Edition is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including all the summer sports. MLB. Love MLB, right? I know these Philly fans love MLB. Shout out to the Bull. You guys know who the Bull is. Greg Lazinski. It's my guy. Also, CFL. WNBA, golf, tennis, racing. That's about it for the summer. Oh, but there's college football and NFL futures. Yes, get in on the action over there at MyBookie. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well, even outside of the States. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to MyBookie.ag. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Probably heard me talk about Rhythm before. They just dropped a new game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. Look, the MLB power trends are 254 and 147 this year, a win rate of 63%, and an ROI of 4.5% their last 400 bets. Whew! The WNBA power trends, 35 and 20 since they launched. 20.7% ROI. Get on over there. Download the Rhythm app. Check out Power Trends and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. All right. Big Bird, they still are playing at the link. I'm just proposing that they should play at whatever the hell. This is like the Subaru Center or something. Honestly, they could just roll up on on an elementary school field, and it makes more sense to me. You could go old school and have people bring out their cars as the fucking turn on their headlights. You know what I mean? Like they do at South Dakota School of Mines, right? State of the program though does matter with that, Mac. I'm giving it honestly, I think they're in good hands moving forward. But they were a 1 if you asked me last year. So I'm giving it a 4 right now, and I think next year it'll probably be a 6. How about you?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 5. I think they hit a home run higher, but now they need to. It'll take a minute to get it going.
All right. Well, let's start talking about this schedule because I think they might be able to get it going week 1 when they head to Amherst, Massachusetts to take on the Minutemen. Northeast football truly back. We already previewed UMass. It's out there. I took Temple. You took UMass. I'm going to beat you. All right.
I made Benedict this. After looking at the Temple coaching staff and Brian Smith being a UMass alum, I kind of like Temple now.
Oh boy, yeah. Please keep talking here because you know what I hear? I hear a little bit of George W.
Yeah.
I think tide turning. As I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of it's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
So you're taking Temple with me, huh?
I'm taking Temple. I give it Keeler. I think Philly J in the chat is onto something. I trust Keeler a little bit more than Harasmiak. I greased up the Minutemen on their episode. You know, that's how you gain fans. You take each of them on each episode.
Hey, Temple needs to take those fucking notes. All right.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I was well on the over with UMass. I can give one back and still be on the over. So yeah, give me Temple 1-0.
I got them 1-0, and then the Howard Bison come to town. I believe Edwin James's sons graduated from, so I don't think he's back this year. But I haven't done a deep dive on Howard yet in the FCS. But Howard did win at UNLV in one of the crazier games over the past 20 years of college football that no one knows about. Howard was a 43.5 point dog, and they won outright at UNLV. Watch out for these Bisons, my point. But I got Casey Keeler. He knows that shit. He probably remembers that game. Temple 2-0. What are you doing here?
2-0, man. This kind of an opportunity to get off to a nice start here to begin the Keeler era.
Yeah, 2-0, and then my favorite game on the schedule.
It's a home game.
What the fuck is this? Oklahoma, for some reason, wanted to go to the link.
Recruiting?
I have no fucking idea.
Because
nowadays you could just buy the play. Like now, like the player. Oklahoma at the link. If I had to guess, I'm gonna just. Here's my guess. This series goes back to 1940. They did a home and home, right? Last year Temple played at Oklahoma, or if not, last year was the year before. Mac, in my opinion, Oklahoma. If I had to guess. Oklahoma's athletic director is retiring. I forget his name right now, but he's been there since the 90s. They had a losing record to Temple. I think they wanted to correct that because Temple was winning the all-time series before last season. Or maybe it was tied up. I forget. Either way, You start talking to some of these old school teams, they like really care about their win percentage against other teams, even though games are played in like 1912. I think they probably sought this out to get the winning record against Temple, if I had to guess. One thing that I do find interesting, Mac. What if Oklahoma sucks?
Well, I mean, then Keeler and that defense could muck it up and keep it somewhat close. But I mean, Oklahoma, from a talent, speed, athlete standpoint, they should blow them out.
I know. I'm just trying to build drama.
Maybe Matier has one of those games he just throws a bunch of interceptions. Crazy shit.
Sam Houston didn't play Oklahoma 2 years ago, right? That was
No.
Houston. Yeah. All right. 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1. Terrible game.
Shout out to Philly J saying bring back the Redskins. Amen. Amen. I do completely agree there. Let's honor Native Americans, not delete them. Then they head to Atlanta, Bobby Dodd Stadium, to take on Brent Key and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. This is the Jeff Collins Bowl. And as much as I like Casey Keeler, I like Brent Key. And I'm actually going to interview him tomorrow if all goes well. I like Temple to lose this game.
Yeah.
Give me a 2-2.
Yeah, we're very bullish on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets this year. So, yeah, give me Georgia Tech. 2-2 for me.
I will say this, though. Georgia Tech opens up at Colorado. I think week 2 they get Gardner Webb, if memory serves me correct. They call quarterback power a lot, and which is why
maybe he gets hurt.
Well, I'm saying Haynes King missed, I think, 2 or 3 games last year. The reason why I bring that up is because Zach Piron, their backup that played really well, is now the starting quarterback of South Alabama. So if for some reason that could get a little dicey, but I don't think week 3 is probably a little too early in the year, and I don't wish injury on anybody, especially because I took Georgia Tech to make the playoffs. But I'm just saying it is always risky when you run a quarterback that much. But yeah, 2-2.
Yep.
They come out of that. They get a bye week. Shout out. Look at Paul Palmer. And look at this fucking Temple Owl mascot. This thing is great. They come out of that. And the UTSA Roadrunners are coming to Philly on October 4th. I have UTSA winning this game because I'm kind of bullish on UTSA this year. What are you doing here?
Yeah, we both love UTSA. We think they could be a fringe playoff team, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to stick with UTSA. Temple's not there yet under Keeler.
Then after that, the Navy midshipmen come to town. We are high on Navy as well. But I will say this. Navy plays a lot of close games traditionally with that offense. The downside of that offense, which I love that offense. I think more teams should run a triple option personally. I think it'd be a lot smarter if for a lot of teams. You'll go bowling every year pretty much. But I will say this. One little fumble here, turnover there, missed field goal there, and you can lose to anybody.
Yeah.
But I'll take Navy to win this game. What are you doing here?
I'll take, Navy. We're high on Navy. Navy's got all that experience coming back. Temple's not there yet.
So 2-4, 4-game losing streak, and you hit the road to the clit.
There we go.
Jerry Richardson Stadium there. This is anyone's game. I got no fucking idea who's winning this game. Oh man, 2 first-year head coaches. I kind of think Temple's roster might be slightly better, but I don't know. It's at Charlotte. I'll put it like this. Temple has back-to-back away right now. They go at Charlotte, and then they go at H.A. Chapman Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I think they are going to win one of those games. It's possible they win both, to tell you the truth. Those are both coin flip games. I'm just banking on the coaching staff. I like Tim Albin at Charlotte. I like Trey Lamb at Tulsa, but I just think they'll get 3 wins by the end of the October 25th. game there. What are you doing? Do you agree with that assessment? Do you have one in both? Do you have them losing both?
No. I have a 1-1 split. I think Charlotte wins. I trust Auburn more. So yeah, give me a loss at Charlotte, 5 losses in a row. Then they snap it in Tulsa to get to 3-5, headed into the final third.
Then they host my East Carolina Pirates. I'm a little afraid of this game, to tell you the truth, man. Just because, and NC Nick was onto this, not with ECU, but just when you have a sleepy environment, and that in the American, so many teams are from the South. Like, you know what I mean? Like FAU, South Florida, ECU, UAB, UTSA. Like, these are all hot. Tulane, Memphis, hot destinations. And you got to go to a stadium with 16 people in the bitter cold. There's nothing you're going to like about this trip. I'll take ECU. I'm just saying UCF struggled here, man. UCF, when they were rolling, struggled here. Give me ECU, but I do think this might be a little more than we bargained for. Look for me to potentially jump on Temple in the points. So what are you doing here?
Luckily for ECU, at least you have a bye week before this to get healthy. So I'll take ECU 3-6 for me.
Yeah. Cannabis Capper, ECU is tomorrow. Glad to see you're paying attention. We're talking Temple, buddy. Then after that, they head to West Point, Mikey Stadium, folks. If you haven't been to Mikey Stadium, got to get up there. Mikey Stadium, one of the best stadiums in college football. The series goes back, 84 years, I think it is, or 85 years. I'll take Army, but I'll tell you this, man. Army's replacing a lot. I was doing a deep dive on Army recently, and I was like, shit. I love my Black Knights, but I was like, they are replacing a lot. And this will be
have them going though at this point.
But this will be the second option team Temple faces in they played Navy like 3 or 4 weeks before this, so that is beneficial in my opinion to Temple. But I will take Army to win 17-16. What are you doing here?
I got Army. I think Army will be playing better ball second half of the year this year under Munkin.
Then.
Yes.
Bye week. Look at that. Todd Bowles making a hardcore tackle for Bruce Arians. That was his college coach. Got to bring back those days. Let's go. You come out of the bye week. And this is okay. This is the one no one's predicting.
Yes. Remember how Tulane finished last year in the cold?
No, this is one I'm all over this, buddy.
Yeah.
I love first year coaches late in November. This is November 22nd. And let me tell you, these New Orleans boys do not want to be playing in cold ass Philadelphia on November 22nd. This is my upset special. Give me a 4th win for Temple. What are you doing here?
Cosign. Yeah. I think this is a great spot off the bye week too. They get a bye week. Tulane did not finish strong to end the year. I think they may struggle down the stretch as well this year. So yeah, give me Temple upset. Yeah, good coaches late in the year, their first year.
And then they head to Denton, Texas for the final game of the season against the Mean Green.
They could win this.
This is a crazy game to me because I like North Texas hiring Sam Houston State's defensive coordinator, bringing in all of Sam Houston State's defense. But who knows those tendencies better than Casey Keeler because he was Sam Houston State's head coach. And then there's this other element. North Texas might have already fired Eric Morris' agency there at head coach because the guy is coaching for his life. It makes it incredibly hard to project. To me, like if Morris's offense, because his offense has been fine, the defense has been ass. If the Sam Houston defense becomes essentially Sam Houston at North Texas, they might have something, and I think it's worth taking a shot on their stuff. We're going to talk about them. We haven't done their preview yet, but I'm kind of buying in there. Look, I'll say loss, but this is one that, like, honestly, we won't know until around that time, which is a good reason why we do our weekly show. Because, like, if you're telling me Eric Morris is already fired, I'll take Temple. But then if you're telling me Temple or North Texas is playing for, like, I do think they could be a sleeper in the conference this year. So I will say loss, but I definitely wouldn't mark this down as automatic.
I'm gonna go win. I think they pull off 2 upsets to end the year, 5-7. Keeler once again gets his guys playing well in November.
Yeah, I mean, there's a path for it, man. And look, the win total, by the way, folks, is 3.5. I like the over, and I like the over pretty soundly. I know I just said 4 and 8, but I'm gonna build you a case here. We're gonna look at the schedule from a bird's eye point of view here. Mac, I think there is a scenario where they're ahead of schedule. First off, I saw Casey Keeler's comments saying he thinks his team's more talented than people think. Now, I know coach speak. I interview coaches fucking all off season. I know some of them just give you just the blah, blah. Our team's better than this, but and we talked about Sam Pork Pittman. He doesn't really bullshit you. Sam Pittman will tell you, like, man, I think we're pretty weak on the O-line. I don't know about Keeler yet, but I know there is a scenario here. The AAC is kind of in a transitional phase to a certain extent. With all these teams leaving, Army coming in. Army's kind of in a rebuild. They won the conference a year ago. A lot of first-year head coaches. I think there's a world where Temple could beat UMass and Howard. Well, I fully expect them to win those. But then I will not put it past them to beat Charlotte, Tulsa.
And then you're at the over already.
Well, I'm saying, like, there's a world where they're bowling. I don't know what Army is this year, man. Like, Army and Navy games, as much as we like Army and Navy, and they were great last season, the chance that you could, like I said, one fumble here. They play so many close games. Those games are more winnable than most games on the schedule. Now, I feel pretty good about Navy beating them. Army, I don't know. Like I said, even I'm a Jeff Monken believer. But I still think, like, Army plays teams very closely. And another thing is, I think the fact that they are going up against the option the second time there is a benefit to Temple. And then I think all those, like, honestly, what are the 100% losable games? To me is Oklahoma, Georgia Tech, UTSA. That 3-game stretch. Everything else, to me, is on the table.
Yeah, that's the AAC in a nutshell, though. I mean, there's so many toss-up games in that league. I mean, they don't get Memphis,
or South Florida,
So I mean, they got a pretty good schedule for the most part, in my opinion. Getting Tulsa, getting Charlotte, and then getting North Texas when they got them.
Yeah, I mean, getting North Texas when they got him is great because there's a chance he's not even coaching, and that I've seen so many scenarios. It makes me think of Dan Mullen at Florida when they fired him, and, like, Florida's team just completely quit before the final game of the season. So, like, that, when you get that scenario, it can add a win to that win total in a game that you're thinking is more 50-50. I'm going to lock up the over, even though I said 4 and 8.
Same.
I don't see how they don't get there. To me, like I said, there's 3 outright losses. The rest, I think, everything's on the table. And I know some listeners will probably be saying, how the fuck can you take them against Tulane? Well, first off, upsets do happen.
Yeah.
I saw the flack you were getting from the Boise fans.
I mean, you think they're damn Ohio State right now.
but honestly, like, the Southern teams, like, that's a legit thing. And I think that's been a part of the reason why there's been such a handicap in the sport is Southern teams playing in the North. How much money did we make on Army money line in West Point against Tulane last year?
They beat them 34-0, right?
Dude, I don't even remember the final score. All I know is I was cashing my fucking money, and, like, I was just having a ball. That is a legit thing. And and you know how you know it's accurate is the NFL. It's like the East Coast, the West Coast, but also, like, look at remember when the Tampa Bay Bucks used to be in the NFC Central? They were fucking hard, even when they were nasty with Warren Sapp and shit. And before that, even with John McKay and Joe Gibbs and Doug Williams and all those, they couldn't win in the fucking cold weather. It's hard to simulate. So, like,
And it
Yeah.
goes the other way too. I mean, the Northern teams
does. It
early in
does,
the year.
yeah.
I mean, the Boise State fans are acting like Georgia Southern wasn't right there to beat them week 1 last year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it does go the other way too, but that they've had that advantage forever though, because all these like college football FBS, you weren't playing in cold places in the month of really October and November. So that's what's great about now with the college football playoff and everything. You saw, SMU struggles. I'm telling you, I think you play that game at the Rose Bowl, that would have been a game against Penn State. But playing at a cold venue can be all the difference. And Temple has that edge. So I will lock up the over despite being only a half game above it. I trust Casey Keeler. I trust the Temple Owls, who are going to do some damage this year. And I do believe, the AAC, and you saw their branding thing today at Media Days where they're leading into, we're no longer the AAC, we're the American. Mac, I see a bright future now. I don't know what's going on with Memphis. They're trying to get give $200 million to buy. They're trying to pull an SMU to join the Big 12. Big 12's like, no, thank you. But I can tell you this: whether Memphis is here or not, that the future is bright with Temple. And as long as Jeff Monken is at Army, and to me, Navy is going to be good regardless. Newberry and Drew Cronick, I think, have a good system. Tulane is very good. ECU has, with the exception of the Scotty Montgomery era, they've had like 50 years of winning football. I think the conference is in a good place, especially once they get Dilfer out of UAB.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. I think UTSA is a growing brand. Tulsa's been a good school, almost like an ECU's vein. They're kind of out there, but they win more years than not. It wasn't that long ago they played for an AAC championship with Zaven Collins. So I think the conference, is in decent shape. And if you're a Temple Owl fan, Casey Keeler is going to get you to the top of that. I really believe that. I really believe they're going to be like a power in this conference moving forward. How about you?
I agree. Like Keeler has won wherever he's been, and there's a reason he took this job. He didn't just take this job to retire. He thinks he can win there, and it's wide open. There's not a premier brand, I guess, Memphis, but I mean, Memphis has had their fair share of coming up short too. I mean, you
don't need to tell me they can't beat ECU. So we'll talk about that tomorrow night when we do our ECU preview. But don't forget about the Rice Owls are running the triple. They're going to be a fucking bowl team every year too. So anyway, tomorrow, East Carolina preview. That'll be it because I will be at ACC Media Days all day long. We're breaking down 136 teams. I don't think anyone else does that. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at DColby. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. We're both locking the Temple Owls over. And I can't wait to watch every single week. That's my favorite thing is when you follow college football from a bird's eye view, you watch. It was like Mendenhall at New Mexico last year. I locked up over 1.5. They blow like an 18-point lead week 1 to Montana State, or week 0.
Ugh.
And I was just like, damn. But you watch each week and you see coaching, and that motherfucker every time. I feel like I'm 9-1 on my last 10 Mendenhall bets. Same vein with Keeler. Let's go. Give me that over. Let's ride. See you tomorrow night, folks. Enjoy go listen to all of our episodes out there. And remember, the podcast platform has so many other gems than the YouTube because we didn't have video live. We have so many different coaching interviews, and that's not going to stop. We're going to do a bunch more over the next 72 hours. So hop on over there, subscribe to the podcast. Please, if you can, 5 stars, iTunes, Spotify, whatever. Till next time, folks, this is the College Football Experience. Temple Owls, you got yourself a winner, to quote Buddy Ryan there. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. You have 7 messages.
1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks, largely cause leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to appear cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and their turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause the season goaler moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without